The anime starts with 4 heroes being summoned to the Racier Kingdom. 3 of them have amazing abilities, including holy magic, holy sword magic, wind magic, thunder magic, and ice magic. The princess of the Racier Kingdom asks them to save their country from the Demon King, who is attacking this country again and again. As they checked for the skills of the 4th hero, they found that Makoto had a unique skill called Online Grocery, and was of no use to the kingdom. The king of Racier Kingdom asks the heroes to save the kingdom's peace, and they happily agree to it. Makoto feels he is not a hero and may interfere with their work. Therefore, he asks them to leave him out of this mission as he just wants to live a simple life. Hearing this, the king grant his request and give him 20 gold coins. After that, Makoto goes down the street to gather information about the kingdom, but seeing him in a tie coat, the people of the kingdom get suspicious, and he quickly goes to a nearby shop and buys some new clothes. While resting in a rental room, a status screen appears with Makoto's information on it. The screen has all the information about Makoto's skills, including Online Grocery. When he wonders what Online Grocery is, another screen appears in front of him that says, an online supermarket website. It was then revealed that he can buy anything from this website using this world's coins. He then selects a bottle of water and the bread, and after paying, he immediately receives the order, which is contained inside a box. Later, on his way to the town of Kiels, he has a conversation with a soap merchant and tells him that he wants to cross the border to go to the neighboring country. Hearing this, the soap merchant tells him that the kingdom of Racier is about to get destroyed, and the rumor is they are closing the doors of the kingdom. Shocked at this news, he goes to the Adventurers Guild and asks one of the workers to arrange an escort team to the Venan Kingdom. The lady informs him that since he doesn't have any carriage, it will take days to complete this task and even cost 8 gold coins. Agreeing to this, Makoto pays her the money, and she introduces him to Werner, a C-rank adventurer, and his party. As they talk, Makoto informs him that he can only provide food on their journey, and Werner accepts it. He also introduces him to his party members, including Vincent, a swordman, Rita, a scout, Ramon, mage, and Franca, a healer. While taking a rest, Makoto prepares a meal for everyone. He takes out a magic stove that he bought from the supermarket and then makes some sandwiches and soup. Everyone is surprised and satisfied that Makoto's cooking is so delicious. Since the food is so pricey, Werner asks Makoto if he's okay with it, but he tells him not to worry about it. On their way to the Venan Kingdom, they entered a forest and suddenly got attacked by some monsters. The adventurer party fights the monsters and kills them in no time, including flying butterflies and a red boar. After draining the skin and horns from the red boar, which can be sold for a high price, Werner states that the meat is no use to them and tells everyone to throw it out. But Makoto informs them that it will be a waste and puts the meat in his item box. He then cooks the meat for all of them, and the meat is so delicious that every member of the party begins to ask for more. When asked if it was so good, Ramon revealed that they normally used to eat jerky and toast, and that's why eating something this warm makes them feel really fulfilled. It was also revealed that Makoto's food makes people increase their power just by eating it, but he wonders, if this gets out, it would be dangerous for him. Another day passed, and the party decided to camp for the night. Makoto cooks another meal for dinner using red boar meat, which also surprises everyone with its taste. Suddenly, a giant scary monster appears behind them and orders everyone to serve the meal to him. The giant monster reveals itself to be Fenrir, a legendary monster that can destroy the entire kingdom with its power. Everyone asks Makoto to give his meal to him, and he obliges. Fenrir asks for more, and Makoto keeps cooking until it stops eating it. Surprised at the tasty food, Fenrir tells Makoto that he likes him and wants to make a contract with him, although he feels suspicious and tries to refuse the offer. But everyone from the party tells him to agree to his offer, and he can do nothing but accept it. After the contract is complete, Fenrir tells him that starting today, he will have a duty to look after him, including serving him 3 regular meals a day. Since Fenrir now becomes Makoto's familiar, he asks Makoto to give him a name, and he calls him Fel, to which he happily agrees. On their way to the Venan kingdom, Werner is worried about getting too close to the kingdom's border. When asked what's bothering him, Rita reveals that there is a fairy tale in this kingdom in which a Fenrir destroys a whole country. Werner informs them that soldiers of the kingdom will not allow Makoto to enter the kingdom since he has a familiar contract with the Fenrir. Shocked at this revelation, he wonders what will happen, but Fel tells him that if they mess up with him, he will destroy them all. Later, as Makoto is about to prepare a meal for everyone, he realizes that the red boar meat is not much left and asks Fel to find meat by himself. Fel then goes to the forest and brings a huge rick bird to the team. When asked what a rock bird is, Werner reveals that it is a B-rank monster that took all we had to barely defeat it, also mentioning that its claws and beaks fetch a high price. After that, he uses the meat to make a rock bird teriyaki with onion soup recipe and serves it to the party and Fel. Makoto wonders that if he joins a merchant guild, he will find himself running a food stand or selling new products. Vincent asks what he will do when he has no one to skin the meat for Lord Fenrir, and reveals that an adventurer's guild can skin and purchase the remains for him. Thinking about what to choose, Franca suggests that he apply for both, as there are few people like that. Entering the town, Makoto is approached by a merchant who is the servant of a Marquis Rindle. The merchant praises his abilities for taming the legendary monster and reveals that the Marquis wants to see him at his residence. He refuses the offer, stating that a common traveler like him shouldn't be meeting with honorable men like the Marquis. As the merchant begins to persist, Fel steps in and tells him that the only way they want to see Makoto is to use his power, and he already destroyed these kinds of humans in the past who tried to take advantage of him. Hearing this, the merchant ran away. Werner asks if it is really okay to turn down the offers of the nobles, to which Fel reveals that he can take on anyone, and the only enemy who can match him is the ancient dragon, and the two of them had a fight 400 years ago. Before parting ways, everyone from the party thanks Makoto as they gained an invaluable experience and even for the delicious food he treated them with. After that, Makoto goes to the merchant's guild and tells the worker lady that he wants to join a guild. The lady informs him that the Merchants Guild is a cross-continental organization, and merchants here are divided into 5 levels. Makoto reveals that he wants to open a stall or a store, and the lady suggests that he start with an iron rank, which is the lowest level, and also gives him the guild card. In the evening, Fel tells Makoto that he is starving and needs something to eat. As Makoto begins to prepare a meal for him, he thinks about wanting to eat some rice and buys it from the supermarket. As he gives some fried meat to Fel, he reveals the food is very yummy but different in taste after each one. Makoto tells him that he used garlic-flavored sauce for the first dish, onion-flavored sauce for the second, and truffle-flavored sauce for the third. Fel finds them all tasty but reveals that he likes the first one, satisfying Fel with the meat. Makoto's time to eat arrived as the rice he was preparing was ready. He puts thinly sliced steak and steak soy sauce over it, making it a yummy recipe called Red Boar Steak Bowl. As he yells out how delicious the rice is, Fel asks him to share with him, and they both happily eat with each other. In the morning, Makoto goes to the Merchants Guild and tells the lady he wants to sell some things. Shocked, the lady tells him to wait here and go to the guild room. While returning, she invites Makoto inside the guild room. Inside the room, Makoto meets a guild master, who, upon checking, reveals that the salt and pepper he brought are top-quality products that can only be presented to the king, so the merchant buys them at a high price. Next, he joins the Adventurers Guild, and of course, he starts from the lowest rank, which is G rank. Makoto takes on a G rank mission that involves gathering herbs. After making steak for Fel, he uses appraisal on Fel, and he is shocked that Fel's scores are incredibly high. Although Fel is a powerful monster and familiar, Makoto still sees him as a glutton. Waking up from his deep slumber, Makoto wonders how great the weather is and that it is a perfect day to complete his G-rank mission, gathering the herbs. He also says that this is his first time joining the Adventurers Guild and that it will be a waste of registration money if he doesn't complete it. As Makoto washes his face, Fel glares at him, stating that he has some nerve to ignore him and pick a low-class mission over him. while taking a dig at the G-rank mission. He also says that he is hungry and needs something like meat to fill his hunger, to which Makoto agrees. They go to a nearby forest to search for some herbs, as there are barely any ingredients left to use in cooking. Not only do they need herbs, they also need meat, so they both decide to part ways. Makoto goes searching for the herbs while Fell goes hunting. Before leaving, Fell tells Makoto that he feels that if he left him alone, he might get caught in some trouble as there are many monsters living in this area. Shocked, Makoto wonders what will happen to him, but Fell tells him not to worry as he puts a powerful barrier around him, which will protect him from any kind of monster. As Fell leaves, Makoto begins searching for the Kyayu grass and the Tamaja grass. Since he can use appraisal, he finds them in no time. As he gathered more than the requested amount, he sat on the ground and wondered if this was allowed or not, but began to prepare the meal for lunch. He orders some ground beef and pork with canned spaghetti sauce and pasta from the online supermarket. First, he chops the onions, fries them until they become caramelized, and then adds some meat and consommé to it. While carrying a rock bird, Fell arrives and tells him that the teriyaki he made yesterday was amazing and that he wants to eat it again, and that's why he caught the rock bird. He also reveals that this is not the only monster he has caught. There are more, and he left them at the edge of the forest since he couldn't bring them all at once. As Makoto prepares a lunch, he thinks that something is missing, and the missing thing is not something that will increase the taste of the meal. But there is a big difference between having it and not. He buys a Parmesan cheese from the online supermarket and pours it on the meal, making it meat sauce spaghetti with extra minced meat. Looking at the noodles, Fell wonders what this is. But Makoto tells him that this is spaghetti from his world, known for its rich and sweet taste. As he puts some in his mouth, he cannot keep his joy hidden as he reveals how tasty and smooth those spaghetti are. Makoto also adds the cheese powder, which increases the taste of the food even better. After that, Makoto wonders how luxurious his life has become since arriving on this world, despite not being able to go back to his world, but is glad to eat the same meal in this world. After eating lunch, they head to the edge of the forest, but Makoto is shocked to see how many monsters Fell has killed, including a giant deer, a black serpent, and even a murder grizzly. He also sees a giant orc, which he has only heard of in fantasy stories, and wonders if they are edible or not. Fell informs him that long ago, there lived humans in these forests who always ate these orcs. Shocked, Makoto puts all the monsters in their place and heads towards the town. Since he wants to hand over the grass to the Adventurers Guild, Fell asks him to climb on his back, as going on foot will take so much time. Blushed, Makoto climbs on his back and feels overjoyed as he finally climbs on the legendary monster, but gets horrified as Fell increases his speed. Arriving in the town and feeling alive again, Makoto tells Fell that if anything happens to him, he will no longer get to eat any tasty food. He then enters the Adventurers Guild and hands over the herbs to a working girl. The girl is shocked to see so many Kyayu grass and Maja grass and wonders how a newly registered G-rank adventurer is able to do that, to which Makoto states he got lucky. The girl gave him 8 silver coins for the Kyayu grass and 1 silver and 3 copper coins for the Maja grass. Since Fell has killed so many monsters, including orcs, he asks the girl if he can sell orcs here or not. But the girl tells him that they only buy herbs and introduces him to an ex-adventurer. Makoto tells him that he has so many monsters, including 5 orcs, but the man takes him to his garage since there is no place for so many monsters in the guild. Shocked to see so many monsters, the man states that he had heard rumors about Makoto, a guy who tamed the legendary monster Fenrir, and now believes that those rumors are true. Makoto then tells him to skin their animals as he wants to sell them except for their meat, which the man tells him is all grass and can easily be edible. The man tells him that since there are so many huge monsters, it will take some time, and he asks him to come tomorrow, since they have eaten all the meat and nothing is left for today. Makoto tells him to butcher one of them for today as they don't have anything for dinner. The man goes with the orc, as he states it is very delicious, to which Fell happily agrees, also revealing that it's been a while since he ate orc meat. The man prepares the meat and hands it over. Shocked, Makoto wonders how he should cook this meat but comes up with the idea of grilling it. He then buys a cheese powder, parsley, some eggs, and flour from online supermarket. He then cuts the meat further, making it more thin than usual. He also grills the meat while mixing it with eggs and flour, making it a two-version pork piccata with meat sauce. As Fell begins to enjoy the grilled meat, Makoto thinks that since Fell is a monster, he can eat any meat he wants, but he is a man and wonders if eating an orc is good for his health or not. To which Fell tells him that orc meat is better and tastier than red boar meat. Hearing this, Makoto grabs a bite and becomes overjoyed at his taste. The next day, Makoto arrives at the man's garage and who tells him that his work is done. Seeing a mountain of food, Makoto thinks that this will keep Fell happy for a while. Suddenly, the man gives him 202 coins, which he got after selling the skins of the monsters. Shocked, Makoto wonders how he got so much money, to which the man informs him that these monsters' bodies can be used for our benefits. For example, orc testicles are good for strength and stamina, leather can be made from red boar skin, and its tusks can be used for crafting. Not only this, but even a rockbird's feather is useful. He also gives him the demonic stones, which contain magical powers and are found in A rank or higher monsters. The man also tells him that there are people in the town who think that the monster he tamed is not a Fenrir but a great wolf, and he does not believe in them. As an experienced ex-adventurer, there is no doubt that its appearance alone shows it is a legendary monster Fenrir. While walking on the streets of the town, Makoto wonders if he tells people that Fell is not a Fenrir but a great wolf, they will sure leave him alone and might stop staring at him, but he agrees to the idea of leaving this town. After crossing the border, they decide to camp in the ruins. Makoto thanks Fell for making him so much money and decides to put on a big feast for him. He opens the online supermarket and buys a huge amount of assorted meat dishes. Just as he begins to eat, Makoto tells him that the main dish, which he is cooking, is much tastier than all of the assorted meat. Shocked at just one piece, Fell states that this piece is not on the same level as other monsters, but when he eats it, he gets blushing at how tasty the meat is, calling it extremely delicious. Makoto reveals that the piece was made from a cow that was raised with the utmost care so that its meat would taste so delicious. After eating up all the cow meat, Fell states that his energy has increased so many times that he can easily beat the ancient dragon now. Hearing this, Makoto uses his appraisal on Fell and sees that his energy has increased 5 times more. Feeling a little stuffy, Fell tells Makoto that in order to digest the food, he is going for hunting. Makoto tells him that he is alone in the ruins and might get attacked by some monsters. But Fell puts a barrier around him, stating that even a dragon's breath cannot destroy this barrier, and then leaves the area. Since it will take a lot of time, Makoto buys a futon from an online supermarket and sleeps in it. As Fell heads towards the inside of the forest, he comes across a rock bird, who challenges him to a fight, but Fell defeats him with a single strike. He was then approached by a giant deer with thunder magic, but it was also no match for him. As he begins to digest his food, he is attacked by an army of orcs, but he quickly dispatches them with his wind magic. Suddenly, the leader of the orcs, an orc general, arrives and begins to attack Fell. But Fell, who not only dodges his attack but also unleashes a heavy strike on his back, kills him on the spot. Suddenly, a monster with a lion, snake, and giant deer head named Chimera arrives and challenges Fell to a fight. But Fell also kills him with his powerful thunder magic. Shocked to see so many monsters, Makoto asks Fell what is going on, to which he states that he got overjoyed and carried away.